City. El Bandit on the outside, then paired down to fight it out. Heartbreak City the inside and El Bandit on the outside. El Bandit and Heartbreak City want to finish to the Melbourne Cup. El Bandit putting his nose in front of Heartbreak City. They hit the line. El Bandit won it by a very narrow margin from Heartbreak City.
Welcome to this special Melbourne Cup edition of ATB-TV. Darren Dance here with Peter Morganti down at Werribee, Peter, with all the internationals on this Sunday morning. It's Melbourne Cup time, Pete. The internationals have worked this morning. We've had a big breakfast here and we've caught up with some of the key players involved in not only the Melbourne Cup but more so Team Tiberian.
Yeah, exactly, Darren. And if you thought it was a build-up during the week, there's a different feel today, and Derby Day's gone, so there's only the Cup ahead of us, and a lot of nervous tension around, but a lot of excitement as well. And it's been a really good morning. Well,
I think all the owners here this morning, you can just feel that excitement. A little bit of a downward spiral last night after we drew barrier 23 for the second year in a row. I need to let them know next year not to bother putting us in the draw. We'll just take 23. Someone's got to get it, so it may as well be us.
Fed it 3 times with your cup runners, Darren.
I must say, this year, I'm not as devastated with 23 as I was last year, because I now know you can almost win the cup from that gate if your horse is good enough, and I think Tiberian's a real deal. In fact, I rate him higher than Heartbreak City on last year, so if I stick to my guns, sure, I'd rather have 12 or 14, but with 23, it's not the end of the world.
And if you have a look at the grabs as we get in, Olivia Pellier, he just said, well, I get a good look at them all and they can do what they like. I've got my eye over them. But yeah, I think you just got to forget about the negative side of it and just roll with the punches.
Well, let's roll on and have a look at some of the grabs we've been lucky enough to get this morning.
Pellier. We've got Julian Ince in the middle, who's one of the original owner-breeders of the horse, and Alan Cotil as well, the trainer who is here. And Julian's got a double up for us as well as an interpreter for Alan as well. But let's just start off with you, Olivier. We're just discussing the fact you've won so many big races all around the world, but you've yet to ride in a Melbourne Cup. How excited are you for Tuesday?
Oh, very exciting, because it's a very big race and a very famous race. And also, so here I know is famous, but in like France, everybody know exactly which race he is, and they put on the television, and you have some publicity for Melbourne Cup and Australia. First Australia, but Melbourne Cup, everybody know which race he is. It's like when you're talking about Arc de Triomphe, they're talking about also here for Melbourne Cup.
We've heard Frankie Dettori talking this week about the Melbourne Cup's the one race he's got left to win, to complete his CV. What does the race mean to you?
So for me, yes, it's like the same. So this year he win 5 times the Arc de Triomphe, I win 4. So he beat me this year. So I say see you in next year for the Arc. So then and the Melbourne Cup, we fight, so maybe I have one advantage because I'm here already and I speak with you. He's maybe in America, so we never know.
And tell us about Tiberian and his form back in France and what he's achieved this summer.
We have a nice summer, and the horse is well. He just arrived and he's in good form. In France, is the horse he likes gallops and. Well, I don't tell you exactly what my plan, because somebody maybe watch me. But I tell you the horse is well, and he missed one race and at Saint-Cloud, the Grand Prix Saint-Cloud. We need to change something, and then after he win the 2 times at Deauville. So it's a good plan, and the rider in the morning, Manuel, is here. He rides every morning. He work very hard with him. He know very well. He's like my little pony, can you see some journalist, and so he's a good form, and he is well, and also we have a good team, also with Julian and Alain, and we're talking about that for many times, and it's very good story, I think, for me, because when you have some horses like that, Stallion is not famous. Some people say little pony, but it's like a dream for everybody. You can come here with some like a few things, and finish today like run the Melbourne Cup, this is like a winner.
And you say you've got a plan. You're not going to tell us what the plan is, but how disadvantageous is barrier 23 for you, you feel?
The advantage, I can watch everybody. It's like I'm a steward, so I'm the outside and I can watch everything, and no trouble, and I hope there's no trouble. The race is really good, clear, and I hope everybody have a chance, and we have a good fun, and I hope the best horse win.
And if we bring Julian in, we're just touching there on the breeding of this horse, Julian. For anybody who's unaware of the story of Tiberian and how he came into the world, just talk us through his origins, if you would.
Well, basically, we were three friends, two friends. We started off breeding together. Heiko Volz, who's here, we started breeding together about 20 years ago. And Tiberian's father was the first horse we ever had in partnership. And we sold him very well as a yearling. And he's a very well-bred horse, the father. He's a half-brother to two champions in Germany. He went on to win a Group 3, and then about 6-7 years later, Heiko phoned me one day, and I said, I know why you phoned me, because he was running in a claiming race. So we just decided to claim him and give him a good home back at Logie to be the teaser. And then Heiko was feeling a bit guilty, and he said, we can't just let him tease, we've got to give him a good mare. And I said, well, if we're going to do that, we're going to give him a good mare that Heiko and Stefan Falk, who's here as well with us, we own together. And we decided to give him this mare, and the result is Tiberian.
And at what stage did you realise that he wasn't just an average sort of horse that would be running in a claimer himself?
Well, I think very early on, actually. I mean, it sounds now, I mean, Heiko said it numerous times. He would always ask me, what's the best yearling on the farm? What do you think? And I said, you know what? The best yearling on the farm is the son of Tiberian Caesar, and it was Tiberian. So from very early on, we liked the horse. For us, he was our best yearling on the farm that year.
And just tell us a little bit about his career back in France and what he's managed to achieve on the racecourse.
Well, you know, he's a horse that's he was very progressive. Alan had him for quite a while, as they normally do with Alan. Actually, they don't run after a couple of months. They take a good while. And after about 6-7 months, Alan was very keen on the horse. He said he was a horse that for him showed a lot of quality. He felt that he was a horse, he could run him over any distance, but a horse that had he finishes like a sprinter. You know, he had a lot of finishing speed, and this came a message early on from Alan. You know, so therefore we went on, and he won his maiden in the provinces, and just worked his way up really. So we've been delighted with the race.
And when did Darren Danson and his team get involved, and what was the initial approach from them?
It was actually after the Hong Kong Vars last year, because the Royal Racehorse ran a big race in the Hong Kong Vars last year, and straight after that Darren was on the phone, and the rest is history.
And you've all got the jackets on here today. It's obviously you're really embracing the experience of being part of a Melbourne Cup.
Well, you know, it's such fun that we're a small team. You know, it's a small family, and you know the horse is owned and bred. He's got a fabulous story behind him. You know, having bred the mother and the father. We're all here together. It's a bit of fun, and it's a great team with Manuel and Sean, and obviously all the team at Alan's place do a fantastic job, and everything so far has gone according to plan.
And if you would maybe then mind asking Alan how the horse has travelled over and how his preparation's been going here.
Yes, le cheval a très bien voyagé donc, depuis nos marquettes, donc tout s'est bien passé. Il s'est très bien adapté ici donc à l'entraînement, donc il n'y a pas eu vraiment de problème. Et donc le cheval est en très belle forme, je pense mieux encore qu'en France, on l'a beaucoup mieux je pense ici encore. Donc il a beaucoup progressé encore.
So the quarantine trip went very well. He's acclimatised very well here in Australia. He finds that he's in even better form here than he was in France, and we're hoping for a big race.
Okay. And the barrier draw from stall 23, Olivier's got a master plan in his head, but how concerned was Alan with the wide gate?
Je pense, je n'étais pas déçu, je pense que c'était une bonne place à la corde pour la façon dont on va monter le cheval.
it gives them a chance to ride their horse the way they want.
There is definitely a master plan with that. And if Alan could as well just tell us a little bit about himself, it's maybe a name we're not overly familiar with, where he trains, how many horses, and what he's achieved back in France.
Donc je suis resté 15 ans chez Monsieur Fabre comme assistant à Chantilly, en Affleuge. Après, je suis allé en province, à côté d'Angers, sur un centre d'entraînement qui s'appelle Senon, Pouancé.
So he went back in, he went from there, from being assistant to Andre Fabre to setting up on his own and a fabulously brand new built training centre in the middle of France.
Et donc j'ai une centaine de chevaux à l'entraînement.
So he's got 100 horses in training.
Et donc on court toute la France, partout, voilà. Puis on est tombé sur Tiberian depuis 3 ans, je pense. Donc ce qui nous a permis de courir un petit peu à l'étranger et puis d'avoir je pense, un très bon cheval dans nos box. Et puis il faut remercier les Australiens qui ont acheté ce cheval et qui a permis qu'il reste à l'entraînement en France. Sinon je pense que si on n'aurait pas pu le garder, il serait revenu directement à l'entraînement donc en Australie. Donc voilà, donc on a une chance de l'avoir gardé à l'entraînement.
He says that he's very glad to thank the Australian team for buying into the horse and for letting them keeping the horse in training with Alan down in Senon. And for him it's a great pleasure and a privilege to be here at Melbourne Cup. And he's a horse that's really he's been in the stable for the last 2-3 years now, and he's been a horse that it's fantastic for him to be able to go out and compete in foreign countries at the highest level.
Okay, once again, if we open up to the floor, if anybody's got any questions for Olivier, for Julian, or for Alan, if you raise your hands, we'll get a microphone to you.
This is just for Alan. The horse's racing form's all been over sort of 2,400 and 2,500 metres. Are you confident he's going to be fit enough to stay a real strong 2 miles without a lead-up run in Australia?
Non, je ne pense pas que ça va être un problème parce que à 3 ans, il avait couru déjà le Chaudenay, donc c'était une distance de 3000 mètres. Il avait fini 2e de Vazirbal, donc juste à une longueur, je pense. Donc ce n'est pas le problème.
He doesn't think distance is a problem because as a 3-year-old he finished second in the Chaudenay behind Vazirbal over a longer distance, so distance for him is not a problem.
And he's a very versatile horse. He can lead, he can take a sit. Do you go forward and put him in the race?
I think you'll be speaking to the jockey first. Speak to the jockey, but no, nothing's going to be done.
And lastly, what's the horse's weakness? Is he got one?
I don't know. I don't know any weakness, to be honest with you. No.
Okay, any more questions for the team? No? Good stuff. Well, many thanks to you all. Let's give a round of applause.
Olivia Pallier, one of the great jockeys of the world. Welcome to Australia.
Hello.
Tell us, you've been here 2 or 3 a week now.
Yes.
What are your impressions of the Melbourne Cup so far?
For my first Melbourne Cup, I'm very happy to come here, and great people, and the city is really good, and Melbourne Cup is a famous race, and everybody know, and I see on the video, but very famous also in France, because more famous because I ride, and they have all the country behind me, so I'm very happy to participate.
You've won Arc de Triomphe, you've won the Japan Cup. How badly do you want to win the Melbourne Cup?
It's like on the CV is really good, but I think before is the cup, you know, it's like some Breeders' Cup, many cups, the King's Cup, the World Cup is the famous race and very exciting. And I know Melbourne Cup is like the country stop and watch the race, so I know everybody watch. It's very exciting for like a 3 minutes, but 3 minutes is very, very exciting.
We've seen some really good French horses come to Australia and win the Melbourne Cup. We had Dunedin come out and win. We had American come out and win.
Yeah.
Do you think Tiberian is better than those horses?
But one thing, maybe it's good enough or not, but it's still on the same box with Dunedin, with the lucky number 7. So maybe it's the sign.
Good sign?
I hope so. It's a good weather. Yeah.
Well, that's Olivia Palais here in Australia to ride our horse Tiberian in this year's Melbourne Cup. Here we are at Werribee, and I've got one of the most important players of the Tiberian team. Welcome to ATB-TV, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Now, you've done all the work. You flew out day one with Minot, and you've been looking after Tiberian the whole way through. Tell us, how's this experience in Australia been?
Amazing. I'm still not over it. I'm still pitching myself. It's just, the horse is just, he's an absolute pleasure to be with. He's in my opinion, one of the easiest horses to transport. I've never seen a horse as calm and collected as him. And it's amazing. It's just, I'm in Australia. Like, I'm still doing that every day. I'm like, I'm in Australia. I see parrots that fly outside. That's just not normal.
Not normal? Tell us, how's the horse? Like, you see him every day. He arrived, he travelled well?
He travelled amazingly well. We were told by IRT that he was the best traveller on the plane.
And since he's been here, his work's been good?
Yeah, we haven't had one day where we thought negatively, or he's just progressed, he's just, and he looks amazing.
I've noticed in the last week or so his coat seems to have really come through.
Yeah, and I think that's, I mean, it would be better if we had a bit more sun on his back, but consider it, I mean, he's a warm horse, he doesn't get cold. That's where we struggle a little bit at night, deciding what to put on him, because he's a really, really warm horse, and a couple of times we've made him put something a little bit heavier on him. He's been warm in the morning, but he eats, he drinks, he's a perfect specimen of a thoroughbred.
The big question, can he win?
I think so. I think people are forgetting him. I think a lot of the journalists are forgetting about him, and you look at his paper form. His form is better than a lot of the horses that we've had that are running against us. So, yeah, I think.
We took you up to the farm last Sunday. I guess with the trainer arriving, there's always a bit of nerves about is he going to be happy or not happy, and we had you and Minot up at the farm, and we took you and showed you some kangaroos.
That was amazing. That was just the best thing ever. Some kangaroos.
And you've been for a beach ride?
Yeah, that was unreal. And I saw a tiger snake. A tiger snake came up and tried to attack one of the horses, so that was really cool. Although the instructor was like, no, that's not. That's really dangerous.
And look, back in France, husband, 4 children?
3 children.
3 children, and a small village. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we live in a village that's probably about 300 people that live there. Senan as well. We have a 5-minute drive to work. Sam, my husband, is the head lad for Alan. I've got 3 children. 15 years old, the first one. He's just started doing an apprenticeship with Louisa Carberry, a trainer in France as well, but an English trainer. Then I've got a 12-year-old, and then I've got a 6-year-old little girl. So.
Fantastic. Are they missing you?
The boys, honestly, I don't think they care. As long as I take them to present home, they're good. But my little girl, she's missing.
Will you be nervous in the parade ring?
Normally, when it's not my horse, because I don't ride him, I'd say normally no. But because I've been with Tiberian now since the 13th of September in England, it's just been me and Manu. He knows me now, so I think I will be. I'm getting nervous now because this is like it's in 2 days.
So after the race, should we happen to win, will you have a drink?
I'll have a bottle.
Well, you've been an absolute pleasure. We've really enjoyed your company. Fantastic. The fact that you speak English has made it very easy for me. And congratulations on the job you've done. Win, lose or draw, but let's hope we win.
And I just want to say thank you for Australian Thoroughbred Bloodstock, because it's really humble, you're really welcoming. The whole team that I've met is just giving us memories to take home, so I want to come back next year.
Let's hope we have a cup to take home. Right, now I'm joined by David Wagner and Mick Whittier, part owners of Tiberian. We've had a wonderful morning here this morning, and I think it all starts to get really real now. And I'll start with you, David. You enjoyed the whole adventure last year with Heartbreak City. How does this year compare so far?
I think it's better. I think, well, I don't say we got the winner, but I think we got a potential winner, and I'm that excited about it, mate. That's why I'm here.
Now, Mick, this year it's your first runner. How have you found the whole experience so far?
Oh, unbelievable. We got here Wednesday and it's just been go, go, go. It's, barrier draw yesterday, obviously Derby Day, and then arriving out here this morning and our team turning up, and they look the part as well, with their jackets on. It's been brilliant.
Now, have we managed to get any inside mail off the stable? What's your feeling on how we're going to go on Tuesday?
Well, they're not giving much away, but they seem pretty confident. So, and obviously the horse seems to have come into his right weight. So, for me, it's just full-on excitement now. Yeah, it's good.
David, have you gleaned anything?
Yeah, I have. I don't speak French, so I'm at a disadvantage. I'll just follow what you fellas say, but I'm pretty confident.
Can we run top 5?
If Darren Dance tells you you're going to run top 5, you did it last year, you'll do it this year, and we're all there.
Yeah, I think we can run top 5, and Darren said he'd be disappointed if we didn't run top 5, so I'm going to take what Darren says as well.
Well, there's no pressure on me, as you can see, but we'll be here with these boys, and we're going to enjoy a wonderful day.
Go Tiberian.
Go Tiberian.
Here at Werribee on Sunday morning with renowned track walker Peter Ellis. Peter, exciting times now. We're only 48 hours out from the Melbourne Cup, and you're down here to run your eye over a lot of the internationals.
Yes, Darren, it's always fantastic to be at Flemington over the Cup Carnival or anywhere where there's big races, but yeah, it's always nice to get a look at these horses just to see what their health and fitness is prior to the Melbourne Cup. I think this year the internationals could easily go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Last year you did the work with us on Heartbreak City and Joe Moreira from Barrier 23, and we only just failed.
Yeah, no, it was a super ride. We had a bit of a plan and it worked out. And of course, he's a great tactician, Joey. And unfortunately, Kieran McAvoy just sat behind us and just got us on the line. But it was a great run. And I think shame he's not here this year. I think he would have been winning this year. But yeah, it's just a matter of getting it all to work out on the day.
The year before, you did the tactics for Darren Weir and Michelle Payne on Prince of Penzance.
Yeah.
You got the chocolates.
Yeah, where I had a simple plan for Michelle was to follow Criterion, Max Dynamite, whichever was in front of each other, just get on the fence behind them, off the fence at the 600 to avoid traffic, and then go out about 8 wide and see how many she could pass. And there was the whole field she passed at some stage.
Was there a reason why you gave her a simple plan?
Well, it was because it was simple. 75% of the Melbourne Cup winners come from a certain position in the run, and the way the race made up, that was where you wanted to have it.
This year, I think the field's a very even lot. I think there's a lot in the field that actually can't run 2 mile. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I would say that there's probably half the field I wouldn't think could win. I think the internationals will probably dominate. There's a lot of speed in the race, so the ones that are suspect of the trip stamina-wise will certainly tire. So I'd be avoiding any sort of traffic coming to the home turn.
Question without notice, Peter. Are you able to give us your top 5?
I need more time, Darren, but I think that Johannes Lemire, Marmello out of the Caulfield Cup, rekindling the 3-year-old, O'Brien run third with Mailer as a 3-year-old. There's a better horse than Mailer a couple of years ago. Thomas Hobson and Tiberian are my top 5.
Well, let's hope you're right. And thanks, Peter, for joining us. Good luck on Tuesday.
My pleasure, Darren. All the best to all the owners from the Darren Dance combination.
Well, that was a great morning's work and some insightful interviews there and some good, really, stories. As we wrap up here from Werribee this morning, I'd like to thank everyone as part of the ATB team who sent in their best wishes and has been following Tiberian all the way through. We really appreciate your feedback. And for the owners involved, I can only say I wish you all the best. I hope the horse runs to his merits. We will have a good plan for him on race day. I think if he can get the right run and a clear run, he's going to be right in the finish, Peter. And we've just, in the last 2 minutes, watched the Breeders' Cup in the US on turf over 2400, and we've watched a horse win called Talismanic. Talismanic has beaten Highland Real easily today, and the form reference there, Peter, is Talismanic raced against Tiberian twice this prep. We've beaten him both times. Talismanic has raced against Marmello and beaten Marmello. So to watch Talismanic come out and win that Breeders' Cup on turf, Pete, I'll tell you what, the form line is the right line, and I think we're in this race up to our ears, and I don't care what barrier we've got. And I think what's most impressive to me today is the confidence in the trainer, the confidence in the rider. They seem to feel that Tiberian is a better horse than what we saw with Dunedin and American. And if that's true, what do you think's going to happen?
Mate, we could win the Cup.
We could win the Cup. We're a big chance here. So good luck to everyone. Let's hope we just get a fair go at it and an uninterrupted run. And please, cheer us home.
Tiberian in front, just outside the 200 metres. There's plenty of challenges. Almandan, Marmello, rekindling, human.